Hello and welcome to the 2020 version of the Writing SOL Proctor training. A lot of information that we're going to cover here in this video, so listen carefully. If you need to pause and rewind, please do so. If you have any follow-up questions, please let me or David know, and we will be sure to help you out. Biggest change for this year is that we're going to be testing in our first block classes. This is a big shift, but I think it's going to be a positive one. Students will report directly to their first block class as they would on any other day, and we should be able to start testing as soon as possible. If your class is outside of House A, I have an alternate location for your class. You should take attendance in your regular location and then bring your class to House A. I think this will cut down the chaos, get us started sooner and finish sooner. We'll be testing on Thursday and Friday of next week, the 5th and the 6th, on a DEAR schedule, which gives us from 8:30 to 11:45 to get as much of this test done as possible. If students still need time, around 11:30 we will move them to the library. If we can do that sooner, because we're down to a certain number of students, we will dismiss back to regular 3-4 schedule as soon as possible. In terms of arranging your room, no one-size-fits-all method here. Whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you think will be successful for students. If you want some advice, let us know, but for the most part, everyone's classrooms are in perfect order right now. In terms of decorations, if you have anything related to grammar, punctuation, mechanics, writing process, those should be covered. If you're not sure about it, cover it up. It's easier for everybody. Just in terms of how we're going to intersect the policy expectations from the assessment office and the logistics of how we actually do the test, we can go through that pretty quickly here. On the morning of testing, please report to the House A workroom. We will have a bin full of materials for you that include the instructions from the examiner's manual, a folder with your roster and test tickets, and pencils, scratch paper, mints. If you have students with accommodations, there will be a list of those also. I advise once you get those, head to your class and start getting set up. Some folks do assigned seating. Some folks, it's your group of kids, so if you want them in their normal seats, it's fine. I know some folks lay out the test tickets ahead of time just to speed things up. Once they're in, when they're ready to log in, they should be good at doing this. They've been doing it for 3 years now. Chromebooks, they power up. They do not sign in as themselves. They click on the app's waffle button, choose TestNav, and choose Virginia. For some reason you're on a PC or laptop, there is a change. They do log in as themselves, then choose TestNav from the Start menu or LCPS Go. I highly advise that students on Chromebooks at the beginning of testing, once they're at the TestNav screen, hit Control-0, and that should resolve 98% of our screen resolution issues. Getting started in the morning, first thing, students will report to holding areas as usual. If for some reason we need a little bit more time to get our ducks in order, we may hold them there. But then they're just going to go to their lockers and report to their first block class. We don't need them waiting in line. Get them in the class. It'll be much faster. They should have their Chromebook, pencil, and a book. If you're outside of House A, again, take your attendance before bringing your class to an alternate location. Once attendance is taken, go ahead and get started. If a student does not have a Chromebook, ask them if it's in their locker. If you have a loaner, loan it to them. If you have a charger, loan it to them. If you are truly out of devices, please send the student to Ms. Maxwell's room, the keyboarding lab, C17. They will need to bring all their materials with them. Not anticipating a big problem here. On map testing, we've had fewer than 25 students school-wide that have needed a device. The directions that you need to read usually come in a big book this year, just photocopies of what you need. Please read those directions verbatim. No improvisation. They are not well written, but they are the instructions that we are given. If you do have students with the audio combination, I'll give you a highlighted version that shows what you really need to emphasize. As always, we have the Lipizzaner stallions that you're going to be reading about in the things. Just thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a notion of what the Lipizzaners do. They're a truly magnificent breed of horse from Portugal. They do all sorts of tricks, and they're very well trained. Let me jump ahead here into the video. Very noble creatures. Proctor responsibilities. Your job as a proctor is to maintain the test security of the environment. Work the room, monitoring the behaviors, not test progress. There's no expectation that you're looking and seeing how many questions students have answered or how far along in their essay they are. Just work in the room, keep an eye. Proximity is powerful. If students need to go to the bathroom, water, pop out in the hall, make eye contact with someone that's in the hallway, and we will guide them to where they need to go. When students are, hang on, turning off my music. When students are done, they should raise their hand to submit, and you should look over the test to make sure that they are submitting correctly. Once students are done, continue to monitor behavior. We don't want them to create a distraction for other students. For you, I get it. 2+ hours of monitoring a test can be a little mind-numbing. You need to be an active monitor. So if you need to check your email real quick or grade a few papers, read a book, that's fine, but sitting in the corner and doing so for 2 hours is not ideal, and it sets us up for problems. Similar to map testing, we'll have a troubleshooting tech support document that you'll get the night before. Keep this open. We're going to be communicating back and forth live. If a student is off task, not doing their thing, put that in the spreadsheet. We'll shut their test down. We'll come in and check on them. Use that. That's our live link to all of the classrooms. When we're wrapping up, if we have about 75 or fewer students still testing, we'll relocate to the library. They will need to sign out of TestNav and choose Save and Continue later. And then we will get them down the library. At the end, please collect up all materials. That includes scratch paper, test tickets, pencils, everything. Get them back in the bin. You will need to sign the ticket sheet once you get back to the workroom. Time permitting, we will try and come around and collect all these and have you sign while you're still in your classroom. Student expectations. They should bring a Chromebook, pencil, and a book. Everything else has to stay back in their locker. No phones, obviously. Smartwatches should stay in lockers. They should not be bringing books and binders and all that, other than a book to read. Working quietly, looking at their own screens, raising hands, and reading quietly after they're done with the test. If you have accommodations, I'll work with you. This is most likely in a small group environment. These are some of the major ones, but I'll have instructions on how those are handled for you on test day. All important, how to keep your license, because this is serious stuff, according to the VDOE. We don't want to get anyone in trouble. So, when you're reading the instructions, stick to the script. The only things you can say to students are right here. Read the question carefully, choose the best answer. Read the topic carefully and write a short paper about it. Refer to the help icon on the toolbar for help with the tool. We really don't want to get beyond that or have any inflection or insinuation in our voices. Please keep hands off computers. You never want to touch a student's keyboard or mouse or device. You can help students with questions on how to use the program. That's about it. Tone is important. There's a big difference between are you ready to submit and are you ready to submit? Just keep it robotic. And also very important for test security to not share the content of the test, whether it's the questions or the essay prompts, with anybody. Regularities. Meet one of these criteria: influencing student performance inappropriately, influencing the reporting of that inappropriately, the breach in test security, or improper implementation. Those are big fancy words. Here's some examples. All right, student becomes ill and leaves without an escort. Let us know that's an irregularity. Major disruption or distraction. That could be impacting students' ability to take the test. Student accessing phone, cheating, getting improper help from a teacher, not getting the accommodations they're supposed to, getting accommodations that they're not supposed to. All of these are irregularities and should come straight to me or David, and we will deal with it at that time. That's about it. I was trying to get under 10 minutes, and I did. Please, if you have any questions, refer to the emails that are going to come in the days before the test or send me or David an email. Thanks, team.